This past Sunday, we considered verse 14 out of chapter 10 of Hebrews. For by a single offering he has perfected for all time those who are being sanctified. By way of analogy, to talk about being perfected by Jesus Christ, I compared it to a cultural phenomenon that is happening right now. And that's the kind of the appropriation of the word perfect. So younger generations are using this word to punctuate conversations. That is to say, for instance, if I were to give somebody instructions that they needed to complete a task, that person, having heard and received those instructions, might say to me at the conclusion of the conversation, perfect, to indicate nothing more is needed from me, conversation appropriately over now to be able to go and complete that task. Well, oftentimes I have thought over the past decade, as I've heard the continued ramped up use of this word in this way, I don't think that word means what you think it means. But in one sense, I've realized that it kind of does, because what we're talking about then is conclusion. Nothing more is needed. So I compared this to what Jesus has done for us. In Hebrews chapter 10, verse 14, he's perfected us. Nothing more is needed. Nothing more will be done. Nothing further can be done. Everything needed has been completed for me to be able to step into the presence of God, to be able to draw near to Him, so that this ongoing sanctification in the presence of God can continue to happen. So let me challenge you in this way. Some people came up to me after the worship service on Sunday and said, I'm never using that word like that again. Or one person came up and said, I typed a search in my messages in my phone. Look how many times I've typed that in. Later this week, I've said, I've had people say, now I can hear how oftentimes that word is used in that way. It's kind of messing with me a little bit. So now as your attention is drawn to this in this way, let me challenge you like this. Instead of like I've done in the past of thinking, I don't think that word means what you think it does mean, let's co-opt the moment. Say, when we hear that word perfect at the end of our order of a cup of coffee, now let's think, just remind ourselves, using that opportunity to remind ourselves, I'm perfected. Jesus Christ has done everything needed. So powerful was the blood of His sacrifice that I can now step in without question into the presence of God, where that continued sanctification keeps going on and on to make me to be more like Jesus Christ.